It's like GPS for your life. The Sky Vibe Show. Top 3 reasons people go to you, the astrologer Thomas Miller. It's Judy Diamond. Go.
What would you think is the first one, Judy Diamond?
Love.
Ding, ding, ding. We need a bell. What would you think is the next one?
Money.
Okay, and I'm going to give you 4 for 3 because
Okay.
let's combine money with overall career.
Okay. Love
Okay,
that.
all right.
Yes.
Career and money, because that's why do we go to why do we have a job?
Mhm.
All right, one more. What do you think it would be?
Where you live?
Yes, exactly.
You mean I ding, ding, dinged it?
You nailed all 3 right on the head.
Because these are my questions. These are all the questions. When am I going to find love? Can I do a job that I love and make money? Should I stay where I'm living?
Exactly.
So-
Everybody's asking the same thing. And of course, during the pandemic and since the pandemic, it's been this great big geographic shuffle, right?
Mhm.
Lots of people moving out to rural, a lot of rural people now going, oh, you can get some bargains in the city. I want to be back where everything's happening. So there's this big shuffle. So those are the key areas. Whenever anybody wants to talk to an astrologer, you probably can figure that one of those is going to come up. It's just seems to be a pattern.
It's definitely a pattern in my life as far as questioning those things.
Now, there's one other theme that I started to notice just coming out of the pandemic, I think, was when I started to see it, is people were saying something like this. I have a good job. I love what I do, but I just know in my heart that there's something more out there for me. And it's
Wow.
not necessarily that they want to make more money. When you start to ask about it, they want to help other people.
Oh, I absolutely love that.
They
And
want
why do you think that is?
They want work that has meaning.
Wow.
And see, I think the millennial generation has woven that into their job because they looked at mom and dad back in the suburban flight with 2 BMWs in the garage, and they worked 14 hours a day, and the kids came home to a latchkey that they said, we don't want that. There's more to it than just having stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have as much stuff on purpose. They're pushing away from my generation, your generation.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole thing of wanting more meaning, but I'm telling you, something came into the collective. They want to know that what they're doing and how they're spending a third of their life or more is contributing to the bigger picture.
Wow. Now, I can tell you, having a daughter who moved to Europe, to have a life where she could be making buco bucks in the States and working her butt off, but instead she's making good money for where she's living. She doesn't need a lot. And she's the one who told me about a year ago, Mom, work is not your friends. That's your work. And I went, whoa, because, you try to make friends with people you work with and then you're backstabbed or whatever. And that changed my mind a bit. I've always been a minimalist anyway, because that's just me. But I've been seeing more and more of that, of people really wanting less
Mm-hmm.
and getting more out of it.
And astrology has a lot to say about that, too, by the way. In fact, there are a bunch of places in the chart. We're not going to go into them here because then we start talking astro speak and everybody goes, huh? But,
Yeah.
but there are a lot of places, I mean a lot of the structure of the chart that talks about this soul path, if you will, this deeper meaning to life kind of thing that people are wanting. And there's
Is
a
that
lot of it in
something
there.
like if I came to you and said, okay, I want love, money, where do I move? What would be the first thing you would look at or say? What would you address?
Which one is more important to you first?
Yes.
Which one do you
Oh,
want to
so
talk
you're
about
asking
first?
me which one's more important. Oh,
Yeah.
gosh. Oh, Thomas,
They're
I want
different
it all.
topics. Yeah. We handle them separately, right? Because you look in the
Yeah.
chart differently for those things.
Can you look in the chart and see what is most important of those 3 in that person's chart?
You can see what stands out, but has that permeated into being more important for that person? Or let's just say one of the other areas of the chart that speaks so loudly that I think is so off of our radars is our spiritual development. And it is so loaded in that chart. How, what, where, what to what quality, where did it come from? How are we supposed to process it? What are the lessons that we're supposed to learn in this life?
Right.
Not ABCs, heart stuff, and
Right.
it is hugely in that chart. But so many people aren't even aware of that side of their personality, that part of their being, that they haven't even tuned into it to the point where they can begin to look at it.
Wait a second then. So if I'm coming to you, I might then go, well, okay, before I ask all those, let me look into what maybe that'll help me because I don't know the answer to the question of what's more important.
I'm looking at your chart right now, and the first question I would ask you is about what kinds of things have come up in your life that have been soul developmental type things for you. What big events or what kinds of, like for me, 2 divorces, right? Big wake-up call. Finally, I sat down, and my question after my second divorce was not, what about them? My question was, what is it in me that they don't want to be with?
Mm.
And that started about a 5-year intense retooling of me.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, that's getting farther and farther away. Now that's about 15 years ago.
Wow.
But that was my wake up. Not, oh, she's wrong. What about this? And they didn't do that. No, I sat down and asked about me. And that was really the first time at about 48 years old that I took the lid off of my life and went down in there and started to figure it out. And that was during that time, the first time I ever looked at an astrology chart.
When you talk about where to live, I think my wake up for me would be, why am I always running away? Why am I always running? Why am I always moving and wanting to get away? What am I always use the excuse, am I running to something or away from something? I'm running to something.
That's a really good framework and structure to put that into is, am I running from, right? What am I trying to get away from? Am I trying to run away from myself?
And that's what I'm trying to figure out.
And you actually have, I'm just looking at your chart right here, you have a very divided interest in this area of home.
So true.
Yeah, I mean, it's sitting right there. I'm looking right at it. I mean, it's almost not fair because I can see things about you that you might not want me to see.
What is it? Now I've got to know.
No, you have a big prominent 3 planets in the sign of Pisces in the area of the chart that, we've talked about it being like a pie. Cut the pie into 12 pieces. The 4th piece of pie is home and family. And Pisces is 2 fish. The symbol of Pisces is 2 fish swimming in opposite directions, going away from each other. 2, divided, pulling, not certain, wanting to move, lots of freedom. It's ruled by Jupiter originally, which also rules Sagittarius, which is a very mobile, travel the world kind of moss does not grow. I've got Jupiter in Sagittarius as well in my own chart. I used to tell people, don't write my address down in ink. Use a pencil.
Yeah.
It's going to change.
That was me. I mean, this is the longest I've been in one place. That it's been 5 years.
Well,
so,
see, that's why they keep renewing your contract to keep you there. It's like,
stay here.
We got to lasso this one down here or she's going to get away from us.
So I guess that would be a really good place to look at is how do you look at that? And, people come to you for love, money. I want to do something that makes a difference and make a living at it. Maybe that's the part of the chart, the spiritual part that needs to be looked at first.
I think it needs to be amplified. It does. But we have to be willing to look there too, as well. But there's more you can do with it. Have you ever lost your car keys?
God, all the time. And my sunglasses, I can never find them.
Well, I'm not kidding.
What?
I'm not kidding.
No way.
Yes.
No way.
It does.
No way.
This is a technique that goes back to the 1600s and is attributed to William Lilly, who was one of the very early astrologers from the medieval period, one of the popular astrologers from the medieval period. I'm going to go back.
Thomas name drop. Like, I don't know who these people are. You astrologer name dropper, you.
No, this is an old horary astrology technique.
So are you going to teach us this, or how do we find this out?
Well, we'll have to do some more episodes because we're not going to do it right now.
You're killing me. You're killing me. I lost my car keys. I can't find my Ray-Bans.
And we got to go.
Well, I'm excited to learn about this.
All right.
Hey, what about a
we'll
dead battery in my car? Can I do that too?
We can
Will
talk
it
about that.
jumpstart my car?
What is the best time? What should you buy or lease a car?
Oh.
Yep. I mean,
Whoa. So wait. Time things let's say somebody wants to get married.
oh, that's one of the biggest ones. Nobody should get married without consulting a good astrologer who understands when to pick these kinds of things.
Should have told me that before my first marriage.
I
But
wish I had a couple of times. Yes.
wow. Okay, so this is stuff that we got to dive into deeper, and we're going to, right?
Yes, we will. Absolutely.
Wow, Thomas, this is fascinating. Still won't let me find my Ray-Bans, huh? Make sure to follow Thomas Miller's other podcasts, including Fun Astrology and Old Soul, New Soul. And you can also find out about getting your own astrology readings. Thank you for listening.